Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Isabella Young. I'd like to thank all my subscribers for giving me an opportunity to shift out of my comfort zone and make this video today. With all the planets going direct, I've really got no excuse, and it's time to announce that I've written a book, and that will be out in a couple of months, so I wanted to let everybody know ahead of time. And also, what I'm going to do is make it an audio book. So that will probably be my next video. The book is titled Putting on the Armour of God, a Survival Manual, and it's about increasing personal power. We have spiritual power, we have mental power, willpower, physical power, financial power, sexual power, and we can do a lot of things to increase all of those powers that we have, because we're really we're under attack here. It's the Third World War, and all of us need to put on the armor of God. And the point is, there are so many things that people are missing in terms of what it takes to be a really powerful human being. So this book came through in a very short amount of time. It came just over a month ago. I started writing an article for a website that I'd like you to check out. It's called More Light, and I started writing an article for this website, and it quickly turned into it's a survival manual now, and it's got some really important information, things that I talk about in most of my videos, connecting with nature, bare feet on earth, sun gazing, and all that. But there's a lot more information too, obviously, than that. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, and I hope that it will be of some benefit. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the experiences of what it's like to be going through this paradigm shift. And it's an extraordinary time, and of course I really don't need to say that, but to navigate through this time, one does really need to be connected to Earth and Earth energy, because it's very destabilizing. I mean, some really weird shit's happening. I wanted to share some of the things that's been happening in my life, so that maybe it helps to know that weird shit's happening for other people too. So one of the things that's been happening most frequently, and getting more and more frequently, is that it's like a timeline reality or layer collapse. So that I'll oftentimes will write a word, or I'll see a word, or I'll hear a word, and I'll also hear, see, or write that word at the same time. And I'll give you the best example of this, because it happened the other night with my partner. And one of the things that we do sometimes is that we share videos that we're interested in or find interesting on YouTube. And we learn a lot, because his interests are far different from mine. And the other night we both were bringing up the videos that we wanted to share with the other. And his title of the video that he chose was "Winter is Crushing Me." And at the same time, I wrote in the title of a video that I wanted him to see, called "Crash on Crush." So out of all the words of what we both actually wrote, the word crush, and the word crush written at the same time, which was quite extraordinary, I thought anyway. So I was going to keep a list of all the words that are lining up like that. Maybe there's a message in there somewhere, I don't know. But it was an extraordinary moment. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about is how important it is to be aware of the power of words at the moment, because things are manifesting very quickly. I want to talk about a story that is something that happened to my partner and I the other day. And it's not funny, I don't know why I'm laughing, but anyway, it was a pretty powerful experience. It happened the other day with one of the large Muscovy ducks that's been wandering around our place. It's belongs to the neighbours, and it's been wandering around the fields over the road and our place around the neighbourhood, like an old dog, I suppose. Just waddling along, and it was really quite nice to have it round. It was seemed to be a peaceful bird, and until it wasn't anymore. I came outside, and the Muscovy duck had another hen pegged to the ground, and all the little chickens are losing their minds. And I called my partner out, and I said, "Check this out." He went and split them up. And it did cross my mind that he was having his way with her. And we went inside, and we found videos to say that, yeah, the Muscovy ducks will rape the hens. And he kept doing it. He kept doing it. And it was very distressing because he would pick the mother hens, and that would send her into because then she separated from her chicks, and the duck was relentless. He's just relentless. And of course, he's huge. And he got in fights with the roosters. I mean, look at this. These are feathers that I found outside. These are rooster feathers, He's fought with the neighbourhood roosters. I think he might have even, had a go at the roosters. Who knows? Anyway, the day it happened a couple of days ago. So I was riding, and I hear the hens going off, and I know what's going on. So I go down there and chase him away. I got the hose and couldn't even find where he went. Came back inside. A few hours later, I hear it go, the kerfuffle going off again. So I went back down to find him, and there was, he chased her across the road. He was just belligerent that day, and I spoke to my neighbour about him and what a menace he was. And there's a funny part to this story too. Oh, this is the important part. This is part of the manifestation too. So that happened, and I was really, I'm pissed for this big bird. He's harassing the hens and making life hell for them. And so my partner, he took an even more firm approach. So he thought he was all alone, and he picked up the bird, and he was going to, relocate it maybe. And then he hears the neighbor, whatever, how the neighbor say, "Hey, what are you doing with that?" And he put it down and told him the story. So, he had murderous thoughts about the bird too, only he was saved. Then the other morning he came over, and it was dark. We lived in separate places, but we lived together. And he came over, and it was still dark. And when he went back downstairs, he called out, "Come look at this." And I came downstairs, and the bird was dead on the road. The big bird was dead in the middle of the road. And it wasn't bloodied, there was no mess, it just was right out in front of, straight in front of my drive there, just dead as. And he said, "Well, we really need to be careful with our thoughts." And I thought that's a very, very wise and sensible thing to say. So I just want to pass that story on and let you know that we're manifesting reality every moment of every day, and we really need to be really careful with that right now, because we're in the wet cement of creating new earth, and what we feed into that and how we contribute to that is going to affect what our future is going to be like. So I'm talking to myself here, because I've got plenty of areas of my consciousness that I can clear up in terms of what I take in terms of information and food and some other people's opinions and stuff like that. So it's time to be really focused on anchoring the new earth, feeling and visualizing what it is that we want. We know that it's our birthright, how earth will look and feel when we're free. So that's what I'm focusing on as best as I can when I'm not chasing geese away from chickens. Oh, I forgot to say one bit. I forgot to say this really important bit. So there was a step in there that was an important step, because the neighbours bought a female duck for the duck and bought him a girlfriend. I spoke with her a few times, and they seemed to hang out together, but he was still hell bent on the chickens, especially the mothers with the newborn babies. So anyway, I just want to add that in. So if you thought I was a little bit brutish in my attitude towards him, he was really not didn't turn out to be a friendly part of the neighborhood in the end. I really hope you're doing well. I hope you're able to get outside, get feet to earth. Even though it's snowing, just get outside. Just be out in nature and be breathing the air outside, snowing, even if it is cold. It's so important that we're outside. And I mean, the fact is our kids need to be playing outside for 4 to 6 hours every day to be healthy. And we all know that that's not happening. So let's remember how to be healthy and how to keep our children healthy. And it really is so easy as being in nature more. It's vitamin N that's been totally overlooked and just glossed over. Because it is that simple as going out and feeling the wind on your face and the dirt under your feet and the snow falling on your skin, and listening to the trees and the wind. It's reminding your body of what it means to be in nature and balanced and peaceful. And then listen to the sounds of nature indoors. I mean, there are lots of things that can be done in order to improve our health and well-being, and it really is time. It's just the Third World War, and no alarms are going off. And I have a lot of hesitation about bringing this book forward, because that's what it's about, really. It's about how humanity is being fucked over here. And I know people don't want to hear that, and there's still not hold on to any hope that it's a conspiracy, but it's not. And I feel very anxious about stepping forward to say that to people, because most people don't want their worldviews changed. But what needs to change is radical worldviews. People have been so fucked over. And I'm not saying I'm not being fucked over anymore, I'm sure I am, but when you start to realise that you're being fucked over, it becomes just an ongoing realisation of how much, everywhere we've been fucked over. And people don't want to hear that. And, I can understand that, because it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing when you get a bit of an understanding of the level of deception that's going on. So the books come through, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm very grateful that I have this book that can share the information that I've used over the years to alleviate suffering, because that seems to be what the pandemic really is. There is a global pandemic of suffering, and I hope that whatever I share can alleviate suffering in someone, somewhere. That would be fabulous. So I'm going to finish the book within a couple of months, and then it will be available. And in the meantime, I will be creating audiobooks and sharing the information with you as I do. So that will be in the next few videos that I make, hopefully. So I'm sending all my love and light. May all beings be free. May all beings be happy. May all beings live in peace. Thank you for listening. I'm sending you all my love and light.